Welcome to another mobile edition of Crime Time with DutyRon. Hey guys, you know the drill. I'm a retired New York City police detective, and if you like all things true crime related from the police detective's perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you'll get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live or upload another video. Hey, today I want to talk to you about the defense. Day 2 on the Alex Murdaugh trial. You know, they called his son Buster yesterday up onto the stand, and I wanted to get everybody's opinion on what they thought of his son testifying on day 1, Tuesday. But I'm going to wait for a couple of folks to come in and join. I want to say a special thank you to the Patreon supporters, the channel members, and all of the folks who positively engage in all of these videos. You guys are what makes this a great place. I give thanks and praise to each and every one of you, and I thank you to the replay viewers and everyone who leaves comments down below. You guys are awesome. Hi, Agati. Hello, Ruth Ann. Good to see everybody. The chat just came up. Hello, Princess Michelle. Good to see you. Hi, Kathleen. Tessa. Good to see you. Blondie1025. Great to see you on a Wednesday. It's wet and rainy, cold, yucky. You know, it's just a crummy day. So, by a show of hands, how many folks here have been following the Alex Murdaugh trial? It's going on for a long time, and this is the part where we hope that the defense wraps up and we put it in the hands of the jury. But what happened yesterday is they put the son, the surviving son, up, and Buster gave some riveting testimony that didn't really show a lot of emotion from a son who lost his mom and his younger brother. I was kind of surprised by his testimony. How many people here in the chat were a little bit taken back by Buster's testimony? And I heard like some psychologist or psychiatrist or slash psychologist slash psychiatrist talk on one of the news shows and said, you know, it's part of the post-traumatic stress disorder. But I don't know, you know, we're looking at a crime. His brother and his mom were murdered in 2021. But like for me, if I had to relive that, I would have had at least some emotion. But that's me. You know, I'm an emotional person. I'm empathetic. I can feel when people are, you know, not feeling right and are hurting. So everybody's different. Everybody handles grief differently. Everybody handles being put on the spot differently. But yeah, Lexi's here. Good to see you. Hi, Beamer 650. You know, I've been a little bit quiet lately because work has been crazy. There's been a lot of things going on and a lot of managerial moves at work here. So it's been tough. Hi, Heidi Cakes. Good to see you. So it's been tough for me to come live with you guys as much as I usually do. But yeah, so Susan Treadway says, I think at this point Buster's numb. Kim Alliston, good to see you from the UK. Thanks for joining. Hi, Ron, says Billy from the UK. Hi, Ron. TJ from the UK. Good to see you, man. So today the defense called Mark Ball. That's a former partner at the law firm PMPED. And he testified to the fact that he went back to the crime scene at the kennel, I believe the day later on the 8th of June in 2021, and discovered a large piece of Paul's skull still remaining, the size of a baseball. Now, a baseball is like, it's not obviously the size of a softball, which is big, but a baseball is pretty darn big. And he testified today in the morning that the Sled team and people who processed the crime scene left a part of Paul's skull behind the size of a baseball. And I was very surprised at that. And then he said in his testimony, and you'll have to go and listen to it because it's almost 2 hours long, but he said when he was questioned that he was asked, did you make notification? Did you tell anybody from the Sled team that this evidence was left behind? Blood, pieces of the munitions and so forth. And he said that he was told by them that they already collected everything that they needed. Pretty interesting, right? So day two, the morning session, I was able to hear, just a replay of it. And some of the things that Mark Ball testified to was also they tried to rip apart the processing of the crime scene, because he was also mentioning that the night of the murders that they were allowed to go back to the main house, and he was concerned that was the main house a part of the crime scene? Was the main house safe to go to? And they were told by the personnel on the scene, according to his testimony, that you could go back to the house. And they went back to the house, and that was another thing that in the testimony that Mr. Ball gave today was surprising to me. And I know that Ed Wallace is now home, but he traveled. He came home for a day or two and then traveled. Now he's in India. Ed Wallace is in India. So I've actually emailed him these articles, and I want to get his take on it, and let's see what he has to say about the crime scene. And I know from, being a New York City police officer for a long time and being a detective in New York City Police Department, that we collect as much evidence as possible. More is better than less, right? And that's what we always say is like more evidence collection is better than less. So I was surprised to hear this. I wasn't shocked, but I was surprised to hear this because we don't know exactly what they recovered at that scene and how much evidence they had. Maybe they did have a tremendous amount of evidence that they collected and that they felt that it wasn't needed. Nicole, good to see you from Australia. Thank you for joining. Nancy Furman is here. Ron, that would require private crime scene cleanup, but this was the next day, Nancy. This was the very next day. And he was also asked if that crime scene was given back to the family, and he said that he was told that the crime scene was no longer a crime scene. And this is, I believe, June 8th, the very next day. So, that being said, when a crime scene is turned back over to a family and they're not investigating or pulling evidence out of it, it's fair game for anybody to go in there. Again, here's the question. Going back to the main house, was there at that time, so early on in the investigation, it was in its infancy stage, was there was there unapprehended perpetrators? Was there a murderer or murderers on the loose at that time? What was the thought process? So that's what I'm concerned about. And it seemed like they allowed them to go back there for a good reason. Now, I want to say this, okay? Here's my thing. We do not have access to all of the case files. Of course, the defense and the prosecutors have access to it right now because the trial is, wrapping up. But we still don't have access to everything that was done. We have access and heard about all the steps that were taken. We heard from the medical examiner. We heard from ballistics experts. We heard from cell phone and data experts and everything in between, There's so much testimony in this trial that it's just mind-boggling how much they've gone into this stuff. But at the end of the day, I feel that this witness, Mark Ball, provided the prosecution with some good testimony at the hands of the defense calling him up. Because if you watch this thing today, if you watch this morning, and the replay that I watched, right, he really went after Alec Baldwin. Alec Murdaugh. That was a slip. I'm thinking about the Baldwin case. I'm so mad that they dropped those, that he's getting off with a slap on the wrist. You know, I was reading that before I went live about Alec Baldwin, and I'm going to make a mention of it now. It's like, it's just amazing that if that was a regular common person, not somebody of a stature, you know, like an actor or somebody that's, you know, a public figure, if that was like me or just a regular Joe Blow, we'd probably be locked up, right? And he's now getting a slap on the wrist because the prosecutor says we don't want a circus. What is that? Since when does justice start uh, making judgment of whether we don't want a circus or not? It's like, right, Lexi? We would be under the jailhouse in a dungeon. This guy's potentially he's going to get off with no jail time. He's never going to see a jail. Just freaking blows my mind. So let me say hello to everybody in the chat. You know, the Alec Baldwin thing. And the same thing went for the armorer, the young girl, the armorer. I think she's 24 years old or was 24 at the time. She's not going to be doing any jail time either. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. There's my good friend from the United Kingdom, Karen, Legal Minded Friends. She's got a great YouTube channel. Everyone should go over there and check it out. It's one of my suggested channels in my channel suggestions. Let's get back to Alec Murdaugh. So I think Mark Ball, the former partner at the law firm, also helped the prosecution today because he testified again on the stand when the prosecutor crossed him. When the cross-examination happened, Mr. Mark Ball said that Alec Murdaugh, I'm gonna do that one more time, I'm sure, before we're done. Mr. Murdaugh stated to him the night of the murders, because again, he went there right away, and he also said that they didn't crime scene off tape the driveway leading up to the kennel, and that anybody had access. So that's another dig on law enforcement. So it was another dig on the law enforcement end, that they didn't have crime scene tape and that anybody could have went up into that location. But he said that Mr. Murdaugh told him on the night of the murders that he was not at that dog kennel. And he also testified that on that Snapchat video that showed the dog eating, I think, a quail or eating a rat or whatever he was eating, that Maggie was there, Paul was there on that voice, that he uploaded it, Paul, Maggie, and Alec Murdaugh. So today, in the process of the defense trying to degrade the Sled team, he also helped the prosecution as well. So Murdaugh lies is a pathological liar. He's a chronic liar. He lies all the time. So Buster is Alec Murdaugh's son, his older son. Just so you can get the record correct on that. So Nicole Y says, Alec is Buster? No. That's his son, Buster. Anyways, getting back to this. So he testified today, and I know he testified earlier in the trial, Mark Ball, that, you know, Alec Murdaugh was deceptive with not just his family, but with everybody that he dealt with in business. So this shows that he is not a truthful person. And the prosecution keeps bringing that up to show the jury that Mr. Murdaugh's testimony or statements are not to be are to be taken with a grain of salt, because he lies. He's a chronicle, pathological liar. He tells stories that fit his narrative, that fit his plan to cover up all of his wrongdoings in business, in life, and in every aspect of what he does. So most of my friends who are attorneys out there, we all know why the prosecution brought up his bad business dealings and the lies and deceit, and why they brought all of the people from the firm and the partnership up onto this witness stand to show the jury, people of the jury, that this guy's a liar. He doesn't tell the truth. How can you believe the statements that he gave to the detectives in the car, to the agents back at the camp, at the base? How's anybody to believe Alec Murdaugh's testimony and statements are truthful when all he does is create lies and deceit? So those are good things brought out. And if the jury are paying attention, which I know they are, they're going to catch on to that. And they're going to be like, how are we supposed to believe the statements that Alex Murdaugh made at the scene, at the station house, inside the patrol car, sometime later, when everybody and anybody that's been around him has been sold a bag of goods? He's a snake oil salesman. So I'm going to have tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m., Thursday night, that's the 23rd, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have a forensic cell phone expert. She's from New Jersey. I'm not sure if that's where she's living now, but she practiced law in New Jersey in a prosecutor's office. She worked and is very well versed in vehicle infotainment and vehicle data, cell phone data, triangulation, geofencing, certified in Cellbrite and all of this stuff. We're going to have a conversation, not just about the Murdaugh trial. We're going to talk about Brian Kohlberger as well. I had about a 45-minute long conversation with her a couple of days ago, and let me tell you, the amount of knowledge that this woman has on cell data and vehicle data. She knows all about the OnStar system. She's had many successful cases that she prosecuted and went after with using OnStar, infotainment, navigation, Bluetooth, cell phones. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna spend a really good long hour talking tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow night. And I'm telling you, you're not gonna want to miss it, because it's gonna be a doozy. It's gonna be a good one. And I hope that you guys can, come with your questions, because I want you to send questions over on DutyRon.com. My guest, her first name is Tiffany, and I will, give you the 411 on all of her credentials tomorrow night. But go over to DutyRon.com and put questions regarding either the Murdaugh trial and the cell data from the OnStar, which we saw so much of that, or if your questions are pertaining to Brian Kohlberger and his cell phone data, and all of the stuff that we saw from AT&T that came back in the probable cause affidavit. Just make sure you're putting in what the questions are for, and so forth. Jess, Mystery Maven, is here. Good to see you, Jess. Thank you for joining. 8:30 p.m., Karen. I will, as I always do, I will schedule a live stream so you guys will be able to go over and watch. Hang out in the comment sections. I'll schedule it starting tomorrow during the day. So you'll have a good 12 hours I'll share it and so forth. Kel, good to see you. Hey, by a show of hands, who's going to be able to be here tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I don't know where you guys are across the globe. Let's get a small roll call going. Let me know where you're watching from, city, state, and I'd like to say hello to each and every one of you and shout out if you're new. Let me know if you're new. Susan Treadway's here, Fuzzy Doxy, Nicole, Princess Mitch, Ruth Ann. Thank you, Eddie T. He'll be PFD. That's present for duty. Snowing where she is. Alabama. Hello from Alabama. Beema 650 with the thumbs up. Lorraine, she'll be here. Nobody said they left brain matter. He's saying large pieces of skull, so that could mean a piece of your skull. Nobody was saying brain matter, so I don't know where that's coming from. North Carolina, sunny North Carolina. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Hello from Tennessee, Heidi Cakes. Thank you for being a channel member. Hello from Iowa. Good to see you. Thank you, Sharon, for being here. Janine Robinson from California says hi from Janine. Thank you for joining. Hey, I can't say enough. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate everybody for being here. Tracy King from Colorado. Hi from Pittsburgh. Trina. Cold Minnesota. Hello, Wisconsin, the cheese state. Welcome, Gene. Thank you for joining. Listen, I try to get to so many of your comments, but I got to tell you, I am tickled pink with all of the comments and questions you guys send me. You know, the amount of engagement that we get here. Barbara, good to see you in North Carolina, 75. Nice. The amount of engagement that we get, Ed Wallace and I, are over the top, and I'm thankful for it. I would rather have a small, intimate group like this than a large group where I can't see almost 3/4 of the chat. Kel, right back at you. Hi, Dawn Marie. Thank you for being here. Ricotta cheese sounds so good. I love ricotta. I'd rather have a small, intimate group like this so I can engage with you guys, like Heather, whatever, from Alexandria, Virginia, or saying happy birthday to somebody. I like these smaller little live streams like this because it gives me a chance to really reach out and touch you right through the phone, to be able to put hands on and say hello to each and every one of you. Hi, Eileen. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Agate, always appreciate you guys. Yeah, happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Again, you know, these things are nice. This is good to do this. It's good for the soul. I love to give back. And you listen, I send the gifted memberships. I did it on Bill Cannon's Police Off the Cuff the other day. It made me feel so good. I think I gifted like 12 or more free memberships over on Police Off the Cuff. Laura, good afternoon. Good to see you. So I gifted like, I don't know, over a dozen memberships on Bill's live the other day on Police Off the Cuff. And it made me so happy to see that, you know, people who are so excited to get that free 30-day membership. Kim, I don't know if you were there, but you're usually always there. Lawyer Mystery Maven, she changed her name on us. Jess, good to see you. Rob would be here, but he's yakking on, what is he? He's yakking on the phone. That's all, it's all good. It's all good. Good to see you, Karen Solak. Alexandria, thank you. Happy birthday. You only turned 29 once. So happy 29th birthday to you. All right, guys, if you can, please, while you're here, this small, intimate group, I'm asking all of you to please give a thumbs up. Hey, what's up, Chris? Kristen's here. Let's unpack that. Good to see you. Guys, everybody here, just give this a quick thumbs up as I get ready to wrap this up. No, I'm 25, so I jacked up your age to 29. That was pretty crappy of me to do. Happy 20th birthday. You only turned 20 once. Now you're not a teenager anymore. Congratulations from making it from 19 to 20. Now you're not a teenager anymore. So yeah, if you guys could give this a thumbs up. This is a small little intimate group, 179 of us just yakking it up, chit-chatting and yakking it up. I love it. Capri, good to see you. Thank you. Everybody who's given the thumbs up sign, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Let's see how many thumbs up. I'm going to try to see if I can count 177 thumbs up. Let's see how many of these things come through. Lexi says thank you. Lexi. I've been 21 almost 3 times. There you go. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Wow. Chat starts going crazy when we ask that. So again, follow me and Ed on all things social media. One word, DutyRon. Go over to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. We are on TikTok, believe it or not. Ed Wallace and I are going to start going live on TikTok. We're waiting to get 10,000 subscribers. When we get 10,000 subscribers on TikTok, we're going to start doing some really cool live streaming on TikTok, in addition to YouTube. So I'm going to have some days that I exclusively go live on TikTok. So for those of just like me, I didn't even know what a TikTok was. My son told me about it, and then there's a huge true crime community on TikTok. So if you don't have TikTok, go and sign up for it, and it's free. Get a free account so you could watch us on TikTok, because we're going to be going live on there, and you can have as many guests as you want on TikTok, and it's a different platform, but it's fun to try stuff, you know. So we're going to do it. Don't get caught up in the whole China thing with TikTok. I think it's all bullcrap. I know that a lot of you are just anti-TikTok, but we're going to do it, and it should be fun. And we're going to be doing a lot more members only exclusive, but I'm going to change the members only to where we actually do full shows like what we do publicly here. So in the next couple of weeks, Ed and I are going to be doing full breakdown specific shows with Barbara Butcher. We're going to have now our new doctor, Dr. Eric Eason. He's going to do some members only lives with us, and we're going to get back Dr. Murray Marks, the forensic anthropologist, and we're going to do all this stuff. For those of you who don't want to do TikTok, that's fine, but I want to tell you that that's what we're going to be doing. That's one of my plans. We're going to be going on there, and we're going to be blasting out some live content on TikTok. So if you love me and Ed, maybe you could just see through some of your fears and whatever, some of the stuff that's out there about TikTok. But we're going to be on there once we hit 10,000 subscribers, and that's coming soon. We're up to about 9,000 now, or close to it. All right, guys, a lot of love and respect from my house to yours. God bless you guys, each and every one of you here in the chat. Make sure you, again, share this video, like the video, leave me a comment down below in the comment section, and I'll see you tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, with our cell phone and forensic data expert. I'll see you guys soon. Peace and love from Crime Time with DutyRon. Thank you to everyone that's been here. Thank you to the replay viewers. I love you. Thank you, mods. Thank you to super chatters. Thank you to people who leave super thanks. By the way, the people who leave super thanks, that's when you watch a video, and then at the end of it, it's for the people who watch the replays and appreciate the replay, like they maybe didn't catch the live, and you could leave a super chat, but it's called super thanks. So I want to say a special thank you to all the people that go the extra mile and leave super thanks as well. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon. Peace and love.